are real happy we're able to come out here and present you with some state-of-the-art VRF equipment. Something new, well, it's fairly new to our industry over the last few years, and it's coming on really strong. We have Corey here that's going to explain more about it to you. But since we started this with you guys two years ago, Michelle has worked really hard across the country, and we're up to 12 schools now across the country. You guys were still our first and our favorite, but so we're in 12 schools now, and we're going to continue to build upon that throughout the United States. So very excited about where we end up, and again, I appreciate you allowing us to come in here and work with you. So with that said,
this is the first one that we're getting to get commercial product.
Yeah.
So,
so far it's just been residential stuff. Now we're moving into the commercial
venturing out
stuff.
and getting to get the commercial in, and so we're excited to continue being the pilot with Chad. So we're excited about this.
And just to reintroduce myself, I'm Bill Roberts. I'm the field technical consultant for Lennox. I cover the state of Kansas. Michelle Nykirk, she's from our Dallas office. She's what's your title? I never get it right. She's the boss.
The boss.
Without being the boss.
Administrative assistant for technical support director.
So the technical support director works for her actually, so that's how that works. And we have Tina Smith, who is our territory manager for this area. Tom Schaefersman is actually our district commercial district manager for the Midwest, and then Corey Bartlett is our VRF engineer. So again, thank you for, and I guess you guys all know the Pestningers, Dustin and Tom. You know, we're really happy that they're here close by to work with us as well. So with that said, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Corey. Unless, Greg, did you want to introduce everybody again?
Sure. I'm Greg Nichols. I'm president here at Salina Tech. This is Jamie Polinsky, our VP of Administrative Services and CFO. This is VP of Student Services, Jennifer Callis. We've got our marketing guru over here, Mike Strand. Of course, we have our instructor, Chad, and our students that you all know. We're very appreciative of this partnership, this continued partnership. We think it's wonderful things, new technology that's going to inundate all throughout the region. All of our folks that I'm really proud of Chad and his connections with the students and with the industry and joining those two together. So thank you to Lennox, thank you to Pestningers, and thank you to our students for allowing us to go out in the industry and make us proud. We're really appreciative of all the efforts you did. So thank you.
Excellent.
Well, to you now, Corey.
All right. So let's start. Before we leave this room, I think it'd be good if we just kind of introduce some of the parts and pieces that we have here, so everybody's a little bit familiar with what we're working with here today. We have a Lennox generator sitting over here, so if you haven't already, get a chance to peek your head inside of here. These components behind me on this side are with the VRF components that we'll spend the majority of our time talking about today. This is the indoor unit, or an example of an indoor unit. There's lots of different styles to choose from, and I'll highlight some of that when we go through some presentation material, so you can see how some of those differences are. Just a basic wall controller, and some cabling for it. This is the outdoor unit. This is a 3-phase piece of gear. It's 10 tons. It's capable of simultaneously heating and cooling multiple fan coils all off of this one device. So we'll go through a little bit about how this device works, how it's, kind of the theology of how it gets connected together. There's a lot of similarity between manufacturers, so it'll be, I'll try and keep it as generic as I can, because I know that's helpful. And then when we get done in the training room, for anybody that has more questions or wants to spend more time or dig your head in here and say, what's that widget right there? We'll try and get all of your questions answered so that you understand a little bit more about what's in these boxes, how they work. I will say, interestingly enough though, even though this is cutting edge technology, there is so much familiarity inside of these devices that you probably have already seen somewhere else. It's compressors, coils, refrigerant, and electronics board. That's about all there is. We do it a little bit differently when we use it in VRF, but it's all the same kind of components. And then This is a mode selection box. This is essentially the magic device. We have a 4-way valve in here that helps us with managing refrigerant. This mode selection box is the magic that helps us be able to simultaneously heat and cool 2 different devices at the same time. So if we have 2 fan coils, one could be air conditioning, the other one could be heating, and they absorb and reject their heat across the zones. So you get multiple ports coming out, 3 ports coming in, and again, we'll get into a little bit more of the descriptors of how these components go together. But I always think it's good for, especially guys that work with their hands all day, to actually be able to see real stuff before I try not to put you to sleep with a presentation in the next room. So with that, does anybody have any questions before we walk away from this stuff? Don't be shy. Still too early for you guys? All right, that's all right. We'll get you warmed up. Let's go ahead and head next door.
Before we leave, I do want you guys to speak to the group as well, if you don't mind, before we head over to the other side.
Well, of course, I've been involved with the school for, I think, about 20 years now and everything. I was on the board for 8 years, and then been helping Chad with his group for probably 20. I don't know.
Since I
For you.
before I was there,
So you're saying you raised Chad?
Yeah. You know, one thing I really want to say is it's really amazing for Lennox to step up and to give us pieces of equipment like this. I mean, this is state of the art, and when these guys come out of this school knowing this will open so many doors for them, it's unbelievable. Not only, you know, everybody's looking for service techs, I can't tell you. I mean, the door's so wide open for service technicians. They're also wide open for, I know Lennox has parts warehouses all over. They're looking for people to run parts and everything. I mean, like I said, the door is so wide open for the technical right now. Like I said, I'm just proud of Lennox and the school and everything it's doing. So.
Yeah, especially going with learning this VRF equipment. You're seeing a lot of applications that used to be a unitary unit or a rooftop unit going to the VRF because it's more of an individualized control in an office setting. We've been putting quite a bit more VRF style units in schools, in office buildings. We actually have one working at our office right now that we'll invite Chad and the students and anybody else who wants to come over and take a look at a working system and how it's put together, the reason for the spacing, the way the components all fit together and everything. It's moving forward very quickly, and get this kind of equipment in your hands this early is going to be a huge benefit for all of you. So I'll say thank you to Lennox, thank you to the school, and
Thank you all for supporting.
Yeah, thank you.
Corey, can we, Chad, can we get everybody up there real quick?
That's fine.
Because I know everybody's
Picture of
gonna
everybody. Yeah.
disperse back to their offices and go every which way before we go to the training room with the students, but can we get a picture with everybody?
Sure.
If you don't mind.